Hello guys, good evening. Do you hear me?
Good evening. We can hear you 5 on 5.
Yeah, that's
Good
good.
evening, sir.
Okay, I think we are all here or someone is should coming, so we have to wait or shall we start? Okay, to save our time, I think I start recording as I mentioned. Okay, and it's my pleasure to be with you today as this is open discussion to know each other. So I'm happy to talk to African guys, my lovely continent and my almost we can say my lovely country. Today, let me introduce myself for you. My name is Gomaa Ali. I am Associate Professor in the Chemistry Department, Faculty of Science at Azhar University in Egypt. I'm just recently, maybe last month, I am promoted to Associate Professor. I'm working in material science. My main research interest is material science, especially supercapacitors. Again, I'm happy to be with you today in this forum or this seminar. And to save our time, shall we start directly? This 20 minutes is given to me. And at the end, we can discuss our point of views. As I mentioned, I am working in material science, especially energy storage materials. Firstly, let me give a brief introduction about what I'm doing in my research. I'm working and I got my PhD, and after my PhD, by the way, I got my PhD on 2015. I got my PhD in 2015 on one branch of material science we call supercapacitors. Supercapacitors, this is a new branch of science which deal with energy storage. This supercapacitor, I give just 2 slides about what are supercapacitors, just to get an idea for future collaboration or something. So supercapacitors, they are alternative energy storage device which can store electrical energy. It's something very close. I know we are from different background, different discipline. So we need to maybe give a brief note about what are supercapacitors. Supercapacitors are alternative energy storage device. It could store high amount of energy compared to by normal battery, and it can survive for a long time. For example, if you imagine your phone working with supercapacitors, so the energy storage source, it could survive for longer time compared to our battery, which is maybe the maximum age of the battery is around 1 year. So this supercapacitor could be applied for a lot of application, including electric vehicles, household electronics, emergency door in airplanes, and in PC supplies, and all electronic device. Every device which use electricity as powering source, we can replace the battery with this supercapacitor. So in my research interest, this is a wide area. So in my research or in my work, I focused only to produce or to fabricate these supercapacitors from waste source. The material for these supercapacitors is quite expensive. So I used to prepare this material from waste source to help the environment, to get clean environment from one side, and on the other hand, to get a cheap or low cost precursor for this material. Unsuccessfully, we recycled spent carbon battery, lithium ion battery, agriculture waste, all this waste, even electronic and agriculture waste, we recycle it into nanomaterials, and we use this nanomaterial for fabrication of supercapacitors. Okay, during my research work, during my PhD and after PhD so far, I have published around 100 papers on different in different areas, including supercapacitors, nanocomposites, water treatment, and sensor. And this is my Google Scholar account showing citation to my papers, around 2,400 citation for the whole of my papers. And my H index shows around shows 28 H index. And according to Scopus, which is indexing database for the journals, showing out of my 100 papers, around 88 of them is indexed by Scopus and showing citation around 1,700, and my H index on Scopus is 26. And to help or to contribute to the research community, from time to time we have to sacrifice some of our time, and we share our time and effort with the others. So we have to do a review for the others' work. And this is the Babylon account, our Babylon profile, showing the statistics of the papers that I review for the other researcher. So I reviewed around 160 papers submitted to the journal or published by the other researcher. I act as a reviewer for this paper. And my collaboration actually what helped me to achieve some publication or some achievement in my career is a collaboration. Actually, to find someone to collaborate with is a good point to do a good research or to do high quality research. So I am lucky to get all this collaboration from a wide range of countries. I mean, around worldwide collaborators from USA, from Singapore, from Australia, especially from Africa. I have collaboration with South Africa, Algeria, Libya, Morocco, and definitely Egypt, and some from European and Asian countries. So I have a lot of collaborators from different institutes in the world. And this is according to Insight Web of Science, showing my collaboration and how many numbers I co-authored with some international collaborations. The majority definitely from Egypt and Malaysia, because I got my PhD from Malaysia 2015. So the majority Egypt and Malaysia, because this is my main affiliation and this is my secondary affiliation. But still I have some paper with Saudi Arabia, Iran, USA, and South Africa, India, and so on, so many countries. And this is from our lovely continent, especially Africa. I have collaboration with these 4 countries, red circles, Libya, Algeria, Morocco. I don't know why Morocco is not written on this map. Maybe if I zoom in, it will appear. So from Morocco and South Africa. So these countries, they have real collaboration and real publication published from these 2 countries or from some universities or institutes in these countries. And by the way, this is a distribution of the citations to my work among all the countries, the distribution of citation from which country I got some citations. This is a we call it citation map. We can access from Web of Science database. And examples of my African collaborations, this book chapter is published with Libyan author from Libya, and we will publish this book chapter together. So this is the first collaboration from the African country from Libya. This paper published in Textile Research Journal. It's published with my colleague or my co-author from Algeria, Abdurrahman Bouafia from Algeria. And this paper is published in SN Applied Science Journal with a collaboration of Dr. Mahjoubi from Morocco, from Moulay Suleiman University in Morocco. This paper published in Journal of Molecular Liquid, published with some pioneer researcher from South Africa, beyond Gupta. And actually, I have a good friends from Africa. As one of them is Dr. Suleiman from Chad. He is my roommate in Malaysia. We have long-time friendship in Malaysia. And this is Edward from Nigeria. I met him for 2 weeks program in Jordan. Actually, very active and very friendly researcher from Africa. And here's some of my exhibition during my presentation of my work. And actually, this is a main point for our work because majority or high number of the researcher is just do research academically only. So they just do their lab, do their research, publish a paper, does it, full stop. But we have to show our work to community, to industry, for the policymaker or the others. So Malaysia actually successful in this area, which is I didn't found in Egypt, to be honest. They do some collaboration between industry and research institute, universities, and industry. They combine both together, or they bring both together to get a common point between both of them. So my university in Malaysia used to do this exhibition every year, and they invite the whole the industrial guys, the factories, all the industry to come to see what the university did for as a research, and which factory interested in one type of research or a specific kind of research, he do collaboration or further discussion with these guys. So this is some of my exhibition during in Malaysia, and this is some award I got during these exhibitions. They do some classification or marking about the quality of the work, and they got some award like gold medals, green technology award, this one, and so on. And also some of awards during exhibition, even in Malaysia or overseas. Based on my research achievement, I luckily got some national and international awards. Most of them, or on the top of them, is the TWAS award. TWAS award I got sharing with Professor Inani from Suez Canal University in Egypt. Also, this is international award. I got it 2018. And just very recently, just two weeks ago, or maybe 1 week ago, I got an international award called Obada Prize, which is supported by African organization, Academic Science, African Academy of Science, AAS, and Natural Science Publishing. By this support of these two organizations, I got the award for Young Distinguished Researcher below 40. I'm luckily still below 40, so I'm eligible to apply for this kind of award. And this is some of with my university DVC, Deputy Vice Chancellor. During also my junior year of research, I was lucky to get invited speaker to give a talk during a big conference. I luckily to join this team, which I give a talk in front of Andre Jim, who is Nobel laureate, and Yuri Gogosti. This is two pioneers in the material science. This is who discovered graphene 2004 and got Nobel Prize on his discovery of graphene. And this is Yuri Gogosti. He is a pioneer in material science or energy storage. Exactly, he working on MaxSeed, which is very close to graphene, the same, almost very close material to graphene. I think he will get Nobel Prize very soon. And so this is some of the conferences I gave a talk as a keynote speaker. And also I'm a member of some international and national societies, American Chemical Society, EAS, which is Egyptian society under our ASRT, Academic Research, Science and Research Technology in Egypt, Natural Science Publishing, USA, Egyptian Society of Advanced Material, and so on, some of the national and international organization. And this is some of TV shows I got invited to for a discussion with TV shows, and some of the reports published in newspaper, but unfortunately it is in Arabic. And this is my recently published book. It's published in Springer, which a well-known publisher just recently, I think in the beginning of May. It's on waste recycling technology for nanomaterial manufacturing. As you know now, the whole world suffers from the accumulation of the waste in our environment. So based on my PhD and my research in this point, as I worked on recycling the waste material into nanomaterial to fabricate supercapacitors. So I get idea to write, to edit a book on this point. So by help of some other co-author, we published this book around, it's a big handbook around 1,000 page and more than 30 chapters. And this is my team, my research team in Malaysia, our group member, and this is our group leader. Definitely I will talk on him privately. This is our lab, synthesis lab, and electrochemistry lab. And finally, this is my mentor, my PhD supervisor. Definitely, I have to call him my friend, as it's not my word. This is his word. All the time, he called me my friend, and when he introduced to me to the other guys or the other researcher or any other people, he introduced me as my friend Gomaa. He never say my student Gomaa. He is very friendly and very active guy. He is Malaysian, Chinese Malaysian, very smart guy and very helpful. And he has helped me a lot during my PhD and even after. So far now, I am 5 years or 6 years after my PhD, and he's still helping me. And he never gave up to help me. Even in my promotion as a associate professor, he helped me a lot. So far, I published with him 40 papers, which is quite a big number to publish with the same author, this kind of this number of papers with the same to keep harmony with the guy. And I'm still remember his some of his or his sentences. He always said, "You have a noble thinking," and he said also, "You are my right hand in my research." And after my experiment with him, he informed the others. He was talking to others. During his talk with Egyptian, he mentioned after my experiment with him, all Egyptian.
Lórí fóònù mi ṣe wọn pé status ẹ̀yin gan máa wo status mi nígbà míì.
Sorry. So he is my real mentor and my supervisor during my last and my coming future, my coming research journey, and I'm very thankful for him. I think I finished up my slides. So luckily, I just spent 18 minutes for this simple presentation. It's just to know each other. It's just like briefing to myself for you. It's just briefing to know each other for future collaboration, for to come to some common bonds between each other. Maybe in the future we can collaborate and we can do a good job together. So luckily we still have 12 minutes. So this is your turn to learn from you. So let's make it open discussion, and we can discuss anything we could do.
Yeah, thank you, Gomaa, for your presentation, telling us about your researches and all the work you've done. Very nice. I just want to ask, how can one to edit a book published by Springer? Because I know Springer is an international organization and they are doing so well. I'm highly competitive to have a work published by them. So how can I work on to get my work published by Springer? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question. How to publish a book with Springer? First of all, you have to identify a point that you will publish your book on it. Definitely, there are so many books published by Springer and by other. We have so many publishers like Elsevier, Springer, Wiley. So many publishers we can publish our book, not only Springer. For any of them, we have to identify a point that we will publish our book on it. We have to show this point has a lack of information, so we have to highlight this point precisely and to discuss this point in a book. This is the first step. Second, we have to write a proposal, around 3-page or maybe up to 10-page proposal. Every publisher, he has its own formatting of proposal. So we have to follow this formatting or this guidelines to fill in our information on the book chapter. What is the title of this book chapter? What is the content of the book chapter? Who will be the editor? A short biography about the editor. And who will be the co-author? It will be edited book or authored book. Authored book means I will write the whole chapter from by my own. Editing book, I will ask some co-author to write in some chapters. So we have to fill on all this proposal and send to them. And it will undergo an evaluation process. Firstly, it will evaluate from the publisher itself. Then it will evaluate from peer review. It will send like different, same like a manuscript. After we want to publish a manuscript, we submit it to journal. It will be sent to the reviewer to evaluate it. Same case here. This proposal will be sent to the reviewer, peer reviewer, a pioneer or big professor in the area, and they evaluate what is the importance of this point. Do we need a book on this point? Is there any books written or published in the same point or no? So they evaluate all of this, and in case of accepted and passed, okay, you can do further, invite your co-author or start writing your book and submit to them. And then again, the book will undergo to evaluation process and checking and plagiarism checking and so on. So this is briefly the scenario from A to Z for the publishing a book, even with Springer or any other publishing house.
Thank you, Gomaa. Really exciting to listen to you and to learn from your experience. I think this will be of interest to most of the people on this group. And would you mind just in brief talk to us about step by step how you went about publishing waste recycling technologies? Now, you talked about collaboration being a key thing in that sense. So how did you go about that collaboration?
Okay. Well, about collaboration and international collaboration, actually,
sorry, I wanted you to be specific on this book. So just to give people an instance of your work.
Firstly,
if that is possible, you know.
It's possible. Definitely, it's possible. You mean, if I'm not mistaken, you want to know how to collaborate with the others to do this work, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, first of all, after well, let us say your proposal is accepted by the publisher, and the next step is to start to invite the collaborator. If you know them personally, for example, if I know Dr. X in Nigeria working in this, for example, my proposal is in waste recycling. So definitely I have a network and my colleagues, my co-authors, the people that I know from conference, from seminar like this. So I know who is working on this particular area. So I can invite him personally. I email him, Dr. X, please, could you contribute a book chapter for this book, for my coming book? So then he accepts the invitation, then he join your book. Or even I don't know, many researchers working in this area, I just go Google or any or Scopus database, Web of Science, and I search who is working on this area. For example, I just type in Scopus waste recycling. It will list me a lot of papers published on waste recycling. So I get the contact information. I got the email address and affiliation names from this published paper. Then I invite them. Because definitely if someone published a paper on, for example, waste recycling for nanomaterial technology, he aware with this area, then he can contribute a book chapter, because book chapter is just a review work. It's just he will read some papers, then he combine them and he summarize them in a book chapter, and he can copy the figures and tables from published material, definitely with citation and copyright issues. With copyright permissions. So either by inviting them personally by email if I know him, and or I get his information from Scopus database or forum, and then I invite him again.
Thank you. That's that's very good. Thank you. And there's an added question to this, and that added question is, do you, so when you research about an author or someone who's written an article and you want to include this person in your collaboration of people who publish a specific book, you're looking at the quality of their work? So you're looking at impact? How do you assess the people you are actually talking to? I know, again, this will be of interest to people who are interested in doing something like you've done.
Yes, one point of the evaluation of the book chapter to be published or not is the authors themselves or the contributor. They call it contributor. So what criteria you select your contribution is well-known names, I mean big names, big professors and pioneers in the field, and they have high work published in high-ranked journal. For example, if I Google someone, for example, Gomaa, and he published a paper on this point, but he published in lousy journal, I mean local journal. So no need to contact this guy, because definitely his chapter will be so definitely his chapter will be low quality work. So I have to target and contact the high quality work published by pioneers or high or big names authors, and definitely this people should have high metrics like high citation number and high H index or this altimetrics, because the publisher point of view is different from us as a researcher. The publisher look who will read this book if I publish it. Who will read this book if this book published by I think we have still 1 minute. So if the book published or contributed or the content of the book is written by high quality guys or high level authors, so the publisher will be interested to publish this book. But if it's published by unknown people or early career researcher, so maybe it will has low chance. So can we catch another with this 30 seconds?
Yeah, thank you. That's really good. I think you've answered the question properly. Thank you.
And luckily, we have Excel sheets that collect all our information. So later on, we can have further discussion separately.
Absolutely. I will email you. I'm myself, I don't do research, but I commercialize research. So there are a lot of ways I can work with you there.
You are welcome anytime, bro. You are welcome.